White Wolf Tarot. I'm Douglas. This is my second recording for today. We're going to record quite a bit because I'm going to cover some things this week. Why I'm kind of under the weather. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And today we're going to cover something a little bit different right before I go into doing a little tarot for you guys. Finding out what's going on out there. This is something that was written by Isaac Bonowitz. This is adapted from the 2nd century edition of Authentic Thermatology. Isaac's handbook on covers certain aspects of things. This will help in the laws of manifestation, creating your own reality, and gaining a bit of knowledge or control over what one can do and one can't do in the realms of what you would consider your own reality, or having set control over set things. And having this knowledge is in part something you have to ask yourself, or we all have to ask ourselves. Does one live in the service to help mankind, or does one live in self-service, or to gain power or control for oneself? And that can be a heavy question based upon ethics, morals, and forms of control. We can cover that as well possibly today, because I have something written about that, because those are all three very different things. They touch base upon one another, but they are three different things. Understanding brings control. The more you know about a subject, the easier it is to control it. Knowledge is power. This is the law of knowledge. The law of self-knowledge is the most important magical knowledge. It's about oneself. Familiarity with one's own strengths and weaknesses is vital to know thyself. Cause and effect. If exactly the same actions are done under exactly the same conditions, they will produce exactly the same results. Similar strings of events produce similar outcomes. Controlling every variable, you control every change. Two or more events happening at the same time are likely to have more association in common than the merely temporal. Events rarely happen in isolation from nearby events. There's no such thing as a mere coincidence. That's one to really keep in mind. There really is no coincidences. One thing means something, even if you miss the meaning or can't interpret the meaning. There is something behind all things. There are reasons for all things. If any two or more patterns have elements in common, the patterns interact through those common elements and control one pattern. It facilitates control over the others. The greater the commonality, the greater the influence of commonality controls. That's the law of associations. And things that have an affinity with each other influence and interact with each other over a distance. Everything connected is connected to everything else. That's the law of sympathy. And that's where we get into things like sympathetic magics and spells, things of that nature. The law of similarity. Like produces like, and in effect resembles its cause. Having an accurate image of something facilitates control over it. Law of continuity. Objects or beings, once in contact with each other, continue to interact after separated. That's something you want to keep in mind if you've ever dated somebody.
Twin flame?
Yeah, twin flames.
Soulmates.
People, random karmics. Anything.
Soulmates, anybody, pretty much.
Any object that once was in contact with each other continues to interact with each other, even after separation. That goes into energies. And even if you think you're not around that person or things of that nature, one still influences the other in one way or another. That's why we must be very careful, folks, on who we choose to be around, because they influence our energy. Law of positive attraction. Like attracts like. To create a particular reality, you must put out energy of similar sort. That which is sent returns. That also explains why we're attracted to certain people, because we are actually looking, we are actually attracted to things or people in a given nature that reminds us of ourselves in a way. And we are always looking for ourselves. Even if we don't take the time to study ourselves or want to be alone with our thoughts or want to be around other people, in a strange way, we are just looking for the knowledge of oneself or a reflection of oneself. Most of the time, everything that is internal reflects back from the external. That's why if you want to be happy or to obtain happiness, it does have to come from you, because whatever is in you that comes from you will return to you. The law of negative attraction. Like attracts unlike. Energy actions often attract their complementary opposites. Opposites attract. Yin and yang. Night and day. Where the water meets the shore. Law of names. Knowing the name, you know that which is named. Knowing the complete and true name of an object, being, or process gives one complete control over it. What's in a name? Everything. Having the name of something defines what that something is. By giving it a name, you give it the definition of what that is. Knowing that definition or knowing what that is gives you control over the thing itself. Certain words are able to alter the eternal and external realities of those uttering them, and their power may rest in the very sounds as much as in their meanings. A word to the wise is sufficient. Sound, resonating sound, and our speech patterns is an energy. Sound itself is an energy. We often overlook that. Most people overlook that. Sound moves things, calls things, and sound can also create things to levitate. It's something they don't teach you in grade school. Any phenomenon may be considered to be alive and have a personality, that is, to be an entity or being, and may be effectively dealt with thusly. Anything can be a person. Knowing that everything has an energy or a soul. Most things are alive. We live on a living planet that's host to us and many other creatures. All those things have a resonant sound. All those things have a resonant state of being. whether we think of that or not. Understanding of that thing itself gives us control over that thing. Understand where it resonates and where we resonate, so now we come into alignment with it. It is possible to establish internal communication with entities from either inside or outside of oneself. Said entity is seeming to be inside oneself during communication process. Spirit, information from the other side, opening up with our emotions or feelings, or listening to that inner voice. It is possible to establish external communication with entities from either inside or outside of oneself. Said entity is seeming to be outside oneself during the communication process. It is possible through maximum association between the elements of oneself and those of another being to actually become that being, to the point of sharing its knowledge or wielding its power. And you can take on other personalities or people's personalities, or sometimes people even wear a mask. You probably do that without even thinking about it. When you meet somebody new and you want to be accepted, sometimes we take on that person's personality, or with friends, or that doesn't mean it's necessarily us, but we are taking on that role or that attribute for a time period to gain some sort of acceptance or reflect back to that other person's personality at a given time. So the number of phenomenon to be known is infinite. We will never run out of things to learn. There's always something new. We never stop learning. None of us know everything. If we were perfect already, we wouldn't need to learn. You'll be learning. We're all students. Every single one of us. You could be 3,000 years old and still have to learn something. It doesn't matter. We're all gaining knowledge every day, in every way, in every reason. We're here to learn. Most of the time, that's what being here is all about, is learning and duality. Right and wrong, heaven, hell, earth, water, yin, yang. Learning that. Duality sets that tone. Earth's all about duality and lessons. So that we can become better. We can become more than what we are now. And getting caught up in aspects of money and physical things isn't nearly as detrimental as what we think. It's easy to get caught up in the material aspects of things. Every sense of mechanisms that every entity is limited by both range and type of data perceived. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Everyone lives and quite possibly creates a unique universe which can never be 100% identical to that lived by another. So-called reality is in fact a matter of conscious opinion. You live in your cosmos and I live in mine. So reality, you'll find, or your own set reality, is the opinion of how you interpret information. Your reality is not necessarily mine, even if we're experiencing the same thing. It's like if I go into a movie and have a different opinion of said movie or film, we could see the same film, but
you know what I have to say to that, Doug? F you.
Thank you. That turn out alright for you?
And
did it?
Kind of a stingy mofo.
You got her the limey one.
Oh, that's cool.
I like the lime one.
Here.
Wait, what is this
Switch
one?
me.
Fruit punch.
I like fruit punch too. No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be greedy.
I just wanted to tell you F you.
No, well, that's fine.
Because, you know,
Yeah, that's of a
the
friendly
name of the
nature.
It's
Oh, because it's
called
the
F-bomb.
It's called the F-bomb. That's funny. That's why you said that. Because F-bomb. That is actually kind of funny. I needed this anyway. I'm tired from being sick. Back to... Yeah. Sorry guys for the interruption. Where was I? Okay, here we are. The total number of universes into which all possible combinations of existing phenomenon could be organized as infinite. All things are possible. All things are possible, though some are more probable than others. If a pattern of belief or behavior enables you to survive and to accomplish chosen goals, then that belief or behavior is true or real or sensible on whatever levels of reality are involved. If it works, it's true. If you guys really sit down and pay attention to what I'm telling you, these things can be utilized in your everyday life to create things that you would assume would be, from a certain point of view, impossible. Nothing is impossible. Things are probable, or not as probable, but not impossible. A concept or act may seem nonsensical and yet still be true, provided that it works in a specific context. If it's a paradox, it's probably true. Any pattern of data can be split into at least two patterns with opposing characteristics, and each will contain the essence of the other within itself. Everything contains its opposite. The synthesis of two or more opposing patterns of data will produce a new pattern that will be truer than either of the first ones, where, that is, it will be applicable to more realities. To survive and become powerful, one must keep every aspect of one's universe in a state of dynamic balance with every other one. Extermination is dangerous on every level of reality. Also known as Murphy's Law, anything can go wrong, it will, and in the most annoying manner possible. If anything can go wrong, it will. Every phenomenon in existence is linked directly or indirectly to every other one, past, present, or future perceived. Separations between phenomena are based on incomplete sensing or thinking, because everything is one. Everything is one. And the illusion is that there's a separation between one thing or another. It's a very human aspect or thought process to want to think of everything as a separate thing. Everything affects something else in one way or another. Whether or not what you do has the effect you want, it will have at least three you never expect, and one of those are usually unpleasant. So if you think of a goal or something you want to achieve and you think you're going to get this set reaction out of what you want to achieve, there are probably three other aspects of it that you have not contemplated that will affect that end result. Something you also want to think about when you're trying to have or set goals towards an achievement or accomplishing something. There will be at least three other effects within that set of goals that it will accomplish that you didn't conceive of. That is something I wanted to share with everybody, because that is something, if you look at this video and go back over, you can utilize that information in your daily life, if you will. That is sort of a guideline, if you will, on being able to achieve something greater than yourself, or live in the boundaries of something, one thing over another, or cause and effect, if you will. Creating the percentages of something capable of happening or not happening. I mean, we often up our percentages, like I said before. If I say, I'm going to lay this card on a table, and then I place it on said table, that's 100%. I know I can do that. I control the outcome. I created that. Knowing those laws will help you get to that point in things that will be almost seemingly impossible to you. Is making the possible possible. Things are possible. Everything is possible. So, that wanted to come out too. So I'm just going to looking at these things of given nature today. We'll see what comes out. Looks like we have fire sign so far. That's a Sagittarius. So, Sagittarius. Spirit wants to talk about Sagittarius. That's what we're going to do. Well, we let the cards fall as they will. I read for whatever comes out. Unless I have somebody in front of me that I read specifically for. That's how I choose to do things. Hopefully you guys all understand that, because I feel that whatever's guided to speak through me or through the cards gets to you, or the information gets to you. I trust that. So that's what we're doing. And I know I gave you guys a lot of information at once. Hopefully that wasn't too dry. You know, some of the information I give is to guide you and help you. It's not always going to be fun and us laughing around. Some of it's going to actually be for study if you want to take notes. Things that I utilize in my own practice. I like to present that knowledge to you as a form of wisdom. If you want to partake of it, it's completely up to you and your choice. I don't say this must be the way things are in this one. You guys do what you will, okay? Do what you. I'm only here to present the information, not. I can present you with knowledge. I can lead a horse to water, but I can't force it to drink. Okay? That wants to come out, but it just doesn't want to jump all the way out and saying hello to me. It's done it twice. We'll see if there it is. Sagittarius. You guys have been coming up a lot lately in energy. Ooh, Sagittarius. This is interesting. A lot of fire, Sag. A lot of fire. You got that fire. Lots of fire. I'm gonna burn myself touching the cards.
Yeah.
This is okay. Whoa. What have we got here? Okay. So we're gonna go with this Sagittarius. And I've talked to you guys before. Your energies come up before and through me. Why that is, I think I've known one Sagittarius.
I know you know two. You've met two at least.
Two of them. Yeah, there
Angelica
was
and Felicia.
Angelica
And Felicia both
and
are.
Felicia. Hi, Felicia, if you're watching. This would be a read for you. If she's out there. And this is for all Sagittarius. This is your energy. This is some heat, I'm telling you. I can always tell when a fire sign pops up. Because my hands get extremely warm.
He always has an issue getting Aries out for some reason, though.
I can do it if I can do it when I pull in your energy, but I have to.
Yeah, but you also end up pulling water too.
Yeah, at the same time, but that's because I think it's because water's in your chart. Honestly, I'm just being honest.
Well, I am on a cusp of fire and water. So.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So, let's see what we're pulling in today. I decided to do this way so that, two. I'm gonna take that, but I want more information here for you guys, because you're gonna ask about it, I'm sure, and I know that looks like it's a problem. So I'm gonna ask about this. That's why. That's why. Ooh. I just got 3 more cards that popped over. That's really cool. Huh. Okay. Sagittarius, you wound up with.
Can't see the whole thing in the camera view.
Sagittarius, you're gonna really want to pay attention.
Hey, babe.
What?
I can't see all the cards in the view.
Okay. Can you get a good angle on that so everybody at home can...
I got a somewhat good angle. But you're going to have to look up now.
Okay, you got the cards?
Yes, I got the cards.
Alright, because I want to... That angle's making me feel weird.
I'm sorry.
Alright. Yeah, I can... That's too much. I can feel that. There you go. You're not as relaxed. You need to relax your energy, please.
I'm trying.
I can feel you. Okay. Alright. Sagittarius, you have a choice coming up, okay, in life. This looks like it is over a relationship. It's been in your head. There's been fights and arguments about this situation. And, you're not sharing your emotions about it, but you have some concern about a love situation. You're questioning your stability alongside this situation and what you have. Regardless, the offer has come in, and you're standing waiting to see the outcome of what will happen. Because I see here there is 3 people involved in this situation. This is in regards to a reconciliation of some type. There's a thought about reconciling. Now, this has changed your ideals and thoughts around a given subject. But it's more emotional than it is anything that would change in your current atmosphere. It's over these arguments and debates, though. It's not anything that's necessarily changed in your physical reality. It's more of a moral thought, moral things that may be changing in you, or your thought process around these moral issues. Concerning finances as well. Some of these thoughts were brought on because of finances, or financial situation. but it's also led to ideals and thoughts of morality and ethics. This is about a 10 of Cups. What is stability? How that stability will be defined regarding your morals and ethics. This is an internal struggle. Again, you're not sharing your emotions about it. You haven't talked to anybody about this. This is all internal work. You know, you've been in defense over a few things, over the discussions that were fought about, and you are willing to cut out what is the nonsense. You're ready just to cut away anything that seems like nonsense, which left you feeling left out in the cold from people, and it's had you in your head at night. You've been thinking about it over this third party situation. The thought of you changing your mind or aspects of this, or the thought behind this, leads to happiness and a child. This has something to do with a child and overall happiness and finances and stability. This is over stability. Not necessarily your stability, maybe a friend's stability. Something that's been talked about between two people about a third party situation. It's curious. There is going to be a death and rebirth. The situation ended, but it's going to be born again, like the phoenix from the ashes. This person's going to take a leap of faith. Whether this is about your friend or you, Sagittarius. It's about one of you. I'm getting that it's more so about somebody you're concerned with than it is you, personally. But your ideals, thoughts, and views and opinions about the situation have changed quite drastically. That's what this Tower moment is. It's almost changed your mind state on how you think about things. Impressive. We're all growing and thinking and recalculating ourselves sometimes. I mean, like I said, we can't always, none of us are right all the time. That's how we learn. We learn from our mistakes, and if we don't make mistakes, we can't learn. And sometimes it's easier to learn through other people's mistakes. That way we don't have to suffer. Sometimes the hardest lessons that we learn are through suffering. But we wouldn't have that knowledge if there wasn't a great sacrifice to an extent. You know, morally, ethically. We all grow. Growing pains, if you will. But you know, gaining certain types of knowledge does come at a price. I can see you individually standing in your power in defense to what you understand and what you know, staying stern in the knowledge that you have gained and obtained through this circumstance. This is about growing and learning and understanding things of given nature. I get strong, and this is more so about a friend than it is you yourself personally, but it has made you grow as a person. It has made you rethink some things, and it's a very interesting read. That's all I have for now for the White Wolf Tarot, saying God bless, blessed be, namaste. And I'm your host, Douglas. We'll see you next time on White Wolf Tarot.